All right, welcome to part 3 of the Mindfulness 101. I need 3 sets of hands, 101, but if I do it really fast, maybe you can see it. Mindfulness 101. Heather Ramsey, founder and head trainer, ReWired Worldwide, and faculty member of Wevo Global Academy. Excited to be with you, excited for what this means for you. So yes, as I promised, I will continue to bring you outer game business, sales, happiness, success training, and at the core of my key skill that has made such a difference in my world that I want to pay forward to you is mindfulness practice. What is that? In fact, let's do a quick recap of part 1 and part 2 first. Part 1 being the first invitation to make it as simple, I love the S's, as simple as possible by applying 2 S's. Do you remember what they are? Stillness and silence. So stillness and silence in your life. Have you practiced it? If not, I continue to invite you to do so. 2 minutes, 5, 15, 20, whatever that is for you. Stillness and silence, and start to reap the rewards, which leads into a recap of part 2, which is why do we want to do this mindfulness practice or meditation in the first place? And I recapped on 4 key benefits, delve deep actually, and now recapping on those. So do you remember what those are? 4 key benefits that you could be experiencing already as you practice stillness and silence, the entree, the baby step into a mindfulness practice. So that first benefit is decreasing what? Decreasing, another S word, suffering. All of us have some element of physical, mental, emotional suffering. And what if there could be less each day? And it's literally within your grasp. The second, another S, is increasing. Increasing what? Increasing satisfaction in every aspect of your life, mentally, physically, emotionally. Imagine more pleasure in your day. Imagine being more present. Imagine not missing it at the end. So that's the 2 main ones. And then we've got 2 more. Do you remember what they are? I might flip the order around just for fun. The 4th one is actual outer behavior change. The fact that you're actually operating or functioning differently in the world, and your friends start to say, "What have you done? You seem more relaxed. You're not as edgy. You don't snap at me. I really like you this way." I know business colleagues. In fact, I've got one of my success pals was just sharing with me at a private meeting that her colleague, boss, mentor will say to her, "Do that practice because I like you better when you do it." And so the benefits can be known and experienced by others when they don't even know that you've had some stillness and silence that day. And the middle one, that 3rd one, any memory on that? It's good to integrate. This is a good mini test of practice of that 3rd one. And that 3rd one is deep knowledge or wisdom or gaining insights. Or I talked about turning on the answer faucet, though I don't consciously sit down in my stillness or silence or mindfulness practice to get answers to a business challenge, for example. You'd be amazed how many great business strategies have come out of my mindfulness practice and or the exact script as to what to say in the next sales meeting or next challenging negotiation or conversation that I know I need to have. So those are the 4 benefits. Now what I want to do is move into, so we've hit on the intro of stillness and silence. Then we've moved to why meditation. And this 3rd part is about what is this thing called mindfulness practice or meditation in a very secular, I'm going to say scientific way, as opposed to this is not dogma or religion or etc. It's you are a living laboratory as a human, and your entire life is a human experiment. And so why not actually show up, wake up, and actually be aware of what this human experiment is that you're living all your life. And so there's 2 main muscles that make up mindfulness practice. There's 2 main muscles or pillars that we're going to invite you to build in 2 different settings. That's it. 2 pillars, 2 settings. And those 2 pillars, without further ado, are mindfulness or awareness and equanimity. Equanimity or allowingness, so a deep okayness with what is. Mindfulness and equanimity. Awareness and allowing. Those are the two main muscles. So imagine it's like going to a workout at the gym. That's a perfect parallel for the mindfulness practice. So you go to the gym, and what are the two things you're building at the gym? There are two key things that are typically you're building at the gym, not just two different muscles, but you're building your strength and your flexibility. So you're building muscle mass, which in fact the chief science officer of a global wellness team I'm part of, he speaks of one of the best anti-aging remedies or antidotes to aging is muscle mass. It's an incredible longevity, I don't want to say weapon, but sword, a tool in your tool belt is muscle mass. And so when you're working out, you're building your strength of your muscles and the flexibility of the structure, the skeletal structure and neurological structure that those muscles are supporting and holding up. And so you're not like so building up so much strength that you're stiff and you can barely move without flexibility, and you're also not so like flexible that you're kind of wimpy and just a sack on a seat, so to speak. So you're getting that balance of strength and flexibility. And likewise in the mindfulness practice, it is a balance and a building and sort of going up a ladder of mindfulness and equanimity, mindfulness and equanimity, awareness and allowing, awareness and allowing. So mindfulness, you probably have some even gut feel sense of mind, full with one L actually, F-U-L-N-E-S-S, mindfulness, this being fully mindful, fully awake, fully aware of, for example, when I am aware that there's a mug of tea here, and I'm aware of the microphone here, and I'm aware of ambient sounds, and I'm aware of my hands moving. So there's a building of mindfulness or awareness. This second pillar that we're building of equanimity, you may be less aware of. Equanimity, E-Q-U-A-N-I-M-I-T-Y. If you don't have blue pen with white paper, I'd highly recommend you taking notes, whether it's this way or ideally writing down. Takes more neuro pathway connections to drill into your subconscious. So writing mindfulness and equanimity, two key words. Now, what is this thing called equanimity? A lot of folks in the West haven't heard this word, and it does have Eastern origins, as well as European, in fact. And equanimity, I'll give you to the etymology. There's a fun word, the origin of words, etymology. I'll give you the etymology of equanimity. Try and say that a few times quickly, from a few different languages. So in Pali, which is an original Asian language, upekkha, U-P-E-K-K-H-A, upekkha, in Pali, or upekkha in Sanskrit, another Asian name or derivative. And also in Greek, I looked it up in Greek, and I'm just taking it in here, apatheia, not apathy. And it actually literally was writing, the word apatheia has quite a different meaning from the modern English word of apathy, which usually has a negative connotation, but apatheia comes from a, meaning without, and the origins of pathos, which means some sort of suffering. And so apatheia is without suffering. So equanimity has this origin of, wow, imagine if you could remove your physical suffering or your mental or your emotional suffering. And it's literally my teacher of 21 years, Shinzen Young, at least one of my mentors in this practice, my core one, literally can have people with a level 10 pain in their body and still a smile on their face. And that is a human accomplishment in our human laboratory. So let me just read a few more words in terms of the actual definition or translation of equanimity, just so you get a better feel for this word, because it's a gorgeous word in our English language and worthy of enjoying its richness, let alone benefiting in your life from practicing it and building that muscle. So equanimity is also, it is an evenness of mind. I love these two words together. It's unshakable freedom of mind. Can you imagine? Unshakable. And at the same time, freedom of mind. A state of inner equipoise. Don't you love that word? A state of inner equipoise, like a repose, like a being poised in this equanimous way that cannot be upset by gain and loss, honor and dishonor, praise and blame, pleasure and pain. Can you imagine not being fazed if somebody blamed you, not being triggered if somebody dishonored you, not being scared if you lost something, not being poor me if you had pain? Just conceive of that. And this is the gift and more if you choose to unwrap the bow and the wrapping and open the box of equanimity. It's a stunning concept, and more importantly, a reality. And I think a way to summarize it could be, and this to me is one of the quintessential goals of life and the human experiment, is happiness independent of conditions. Not I'll be happy when, but happiness independent of conditions. Just take that one in, put that in your pipe and smoke it. A water pipe or a herb pipe maybe. Alrighty. So in recapping, what we've got is the first invitation to spend some time in stillness and silence. The second concept of why do this in the first place. 4 key benefits, all of which are free in your human experiment. You're going to live here anyways. Why not live an epically awake life? And then the third is, what is this thing called mindfulness, or this mindfulness practice? And it's got these building of these 2 pillars, mindfulness and equanimity, allowing awareness and allowingness. And what I promised in recapping simplicity is that this system that I'm proposing to you has 2 aspects, mindfulness and equanimity, that we're building, and in 2 settings. And those are a formal practice when you're actually sitting in stillness and in silence, and an in-life practice where you're bopping around the world and you're in motion and you're in audio. And it's not unlike the parallel to the workout again. So you go to the gym for formal practice, and yet in life, when you go dancing, like I just went last night to 3 hours of blues dancing, which is fantastic, to some great blues music, that is practice in life. It's not formal, yet it is still building strength and flexibility as a workout. Likewise, if you're rolling around on the carpet with your kids and get that muscle tension and grip and rally and strength and flexibility going on, it's another example of practice in life versus formally practicing at the gym. And likewise, mindfulness practice is exactly the same thing. You have a formal practice and you have practice in life. And so in recapping for today, my invitation is to be aware in your chosen time each day of stillness and silence. And if you haven't yet committed, life is about a commitment or a decision. Success is a decision away. So decide now if it calls to you, and I hope it does, to join me on the other side of life, so to speak, and say yes to some time of stillness and silence in your life and in each day. And in that commitment, the invitation is to become more aware and allowing of the benefits, those 4 benefits, to start percolating in you and become aware of them. As this training grows, I will get more specific as to specific techniques of how-tos. Yet I didn't want to overwhelm you with how-tos. I wanted to make the invitation as simple, stillness and silence, as rich, the 4 key benefits, and as clear a system as doable, setting you up for success with 2 simple pillars in 2 simple ways to practice it. Mindfulness and equanimity, formally and in life. So with that, I'll wrap up on part 3 and invite you right now to spend some time in stillness and in silence. And in fact, maybe let's just take the last 60 seconds here. Together, you and I, right now. 60 more seconds. to become still. And silent. And perhaps to not hold the breath for sure, but to enjoy your breath. Wherever you experience that. Could be your chest, your belly, your nose, your throat. Filling your entire cavity, yourself, your lungs, your being, oxygenating your blood as a carrier to your cells. May our moments of stillness and silence be easy, effortless, irresistible entrees, regardless of what past experience you may or may not have had. Let it be, as I started in part 1, a clean slate, and may you join me in a fresh way, practicing mindfulness with stillness and silence. Enjoy every day, and we'll be with you soon in part 4. We'll be bringing you some more focus on your breath, focus on how-tos, and excited for you, excited for all the benefits that are coming to you already. Enjoy. Heather Ramsey, ReWired Worldwide and Wevo Global. Cheers and have a great one.